Okay, grade 5. So let's start. This is we're still in unit 2 from matter to organisms. This is a summary for the second concept, which is energy flow in ecosystems. So let's start. We will work on the pages 2, 3, and 4. So I need you to pay attention, please. This is page number 2. We will start by the title, concept 2, energy flow in ecosystems. All living things need energy to live, grow, and do other work. Yes, this is for sure. All the living things need energy in order to live, to grow, in order to survive in their environment and to do other work like reproduction. For example, the source of energy for all organisms on Earth is the sun. This is a very important part. The source of energy for all types of organisms on our planet Earth, this is the sun. This is the main source of energy. Then what? Then what's an ecosystem? Let's look at this part first. An ecosystem, it includes all the living and the non-living things in an environment. Can anyone guess the living things in an environment? Can anyone tell us what are the living things of any environment? Things that are alive? Kusai.
Yes, mister.
Yes, Kusai. Like what?
Like, like fish, ducks, anything. That's
Like
like animals.
fish, ducks, like animals. Yes, this is great. Excellent. Thank you.
They're also non-living things.
Sorry, Kusai. Leave the chance for another person. So these are the living things, as Kusai said, they are like fish, plants, and all the animals. Okay, what about the non-living things at any environment? These are the dead things or the things that are not alive at all. Muhammad Ibrahim,
Yes, mister.
non-living things like what?
Non-living things like the house, like any wall,
The
like this,
house, like the rocks, like water, like air, like the sunlight, for example.
like the television.
Yes, but we are talking about the environment, not in our house. So the
Environment.
rocks, the
Rocks
soil,
and
this is
sand.
great. The sand, excellent, thank you. This is great. So an ecosystem, it includes all the living and the non-living things in an environment. Okay, so now let's talk about the living and the non-living things. Living things, they are like trees, birds, and fish. But in the ecosystem, we will call them biotic factors. Biotic factors. So what are the biotic factors? They are any living thing in an ecosystem. The fish, the trees, the ducks, all the animals, the humans, the birds, the butterflies, the bacteria, all these, they are living things. So any living thing in an ecosystem, it is called biotic factors. Then what about the non-living things? Non-living things, like Muhammad Ibrahim said, this is like the soil, the rocks, water, air, and sunlight, or these are non-living things. So we will give them the name abiotic factors. So now we can say that instead of the ecosystem includes all the living and the non-living things, we can say that the ecosystem includes biotic and abiotic factors, right? So, but you need to know that or keep in your mind that the biotic and the abiotic factors, they interact to supply the needs of the living things. What do you mean by this statement? Let's think about plants. Do you remember the plant needs? Can anyone tell what are the plant needs? Yusuf Stambul.
Yes, mister. There are sunlight, water, and there are
And,
sunlight, water.
and the
No,
air.
Yes, and air.
or carbon dioxide. Excellent. These are the basic needs of the plant. And these are all abiotic factors: sunlight, air, and water. They are abiotic factors. Actually, the plants which are biotic factors, they need all these abiotic factors in order to survive. So the biotic and the abiotic factors of any ecosystem, they interact to supply the needs of the living things. Also, animals need plants to survive because animals eat plants and the other animals eat these animals which eat plants. Okay, look at this picture right here. This is another example of an ecosystem. So this picture resembles an ecosystem because it contains living things or biotic factors like the fish, frogs, plants, ducks, dragonflies, for example, and other types of plants, even this snail, and also it contains non-living things or abiotic factors like the water, like air, like the soil and these rocks. So this is an example of an ecosystem. Then let's move to the next page. This is page number 3. So now, what about a group of animals of the same kind or the same type? They are of the same species. We call them a population. Population. So a population, it includes all the members of a single species. All the members of a single species, they are called a population. Look at this picture to your right. This is a group of deer. So they are all deer, right? There is no different animal right here. So we can name it a population of deer. Look at these spruce trees. These spruce trees, this is a species of trees. They are called spruce trees. All the trees in the picture, they are spruce trees. So this is a population of spruce trees. Then what about different populations? Population of deer, population of zebras, population of lions, population of tigers. So these are different populations. So different populations together, they are called a community. 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 I need you to repeat this word after me. Community. So many different populations together, they are called the community. So it includes all the living things in an ecosystem. Look at this picture right here. It contains ostriches, gazelles, and zebras, also some types of animals. So these are different populations. They are all living things. Now we can call them a community. It includes all the living things in an ecosystem. It has plants, animals, bacteria, and fungi, and so on. Okay. Then what about community and population together? Let's see. Actually, we said that a population, this is all the members of a single species, right? These are all the members of a single species. So populations, different populations make up a community, and the communities, they make up an ecosystem. Look at this picture right here to get the whole idea. So a single organism, this is an organism like this deer. Then a group of deer, they are of the same type or the same species. So they are called a population. Then if there is a group of deer or a population of deer, one of zebras, one of cows, one of lions, one of trees. So these are different populations. They make up a community. So these communities, beside the sunlight, the air, and water, and the soil, so these are like gathering the biotic factors beside the abiotic factors. This is the ecosystem. Look at the next picture. This is for the same idea. One single organism, then a group of the same members of the same species. They are called a population. Different populations make up community. Community includes all the living things in an ecosystem. So what about the non-living things like the rocks, sand, and water? Beside the communities, they make up an ecosystem. So this is the part of the summary that we will study for today, the pages 2, 3, and 4. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, so this is activity number 1. We are in concept 2.2. This is the matter flow in ecosystem. The word flow means the movement or the matter when it is transported from one organism to another, when it moves from one organism to another. Matter is anything that make up the organisms or make up other particles. This is what is meant by matter. So how the matter flow in an ecosystem. This is activity number 1 in page 50. Let's see. Look at this picture carefully right here. You can see a sunflower. This is a plant. And also there is a bee or insect that takes nectar, the sweet nectar from the plant. Also, this is a chipmunk or a squirrel that eat some parts of the plant. So in this picture right here, this is a very, very good example of how matter flow in an ecosystem. As we have discussed before, that the sun is the main source of energy on Earth. Then which type of organisms can use energy from the sun? Actually, these are the producers, like plants, like this sunflower plant. So this sunflower plant, this is the organism that takes the energy from sunlight and use it with carbon dioxide and water to make its own food in the form of glucose, as we studied in the previous concept. So why the plants make their own food? In order to eat. When the plants eat or make their own food, they started to grow bigger and larger. Okay, till now the energy from the sun is stored in the body of the plants. Then when animals come and eat these plants, like this squirrel, for example, so the energy stored in the bodies of the plants, they are transferred to the bodies of animals. This is what it meant by the energy flow or the matter flow in ecosystem. So look at this question carefully. It says, how does matter flow through an ecosystem? Hamza, can you answer?
Mr.
Can you think about this?
Okay. The plant take energy from sunlight
Great.
and they make its own food.
This is great.
Then the animals come to eat it.
Then the animals get energy from the plants.
From the plant.
That the plants already got from the
Sunlight.
From the sunlight. Excellent. Thank you. So let's look at the answer to this part and think about it. Matter is what things are made of. Matter, so what is the meaning of matter? This is what things are made of. Objects are made from smaller parts that are put together to make a bigger thing. Like when you are building any building, you started to put the small bricks one over the other, one beside the other to get the full building, right? So also the objects, they are made from smaller parts that are put together to make bigger things. Plants use light, water, and air to grow bigger. Also, the animals get food from. Some animals get food from eating plants, while other animals get food from eating other animals in the ecosystem. This is how the animals get bigger too, and this is how the matter flows through an ecosystem. Okay, guys, did you get this part? That's great.